Welcome to Without a Doubt, the podcast where we explore the transformative journey of breaking cycles and embracing our truest self. I'm Mad, a cycle breaker, freelancer, and a sprinkle of reality. Each week, we dive into conversations that challenge conventional thinking and inspire personal growth. Here, you'll find practical tips to help you navigate your own path towards authenticity. Whether you're looking to overcome limiting beliefs, create meaningful change in your own life, or simply live more authentically, you're in the right place. So get ready to break the cycles that are holding you back and start living a life that is truly reflecting who you are meant to be. Your peace and what others think of peace look different. Earlier this year, I fell into a pretty deep depression. I was lacking the want to even hang out with my friends, get crafty, read, work out, do anything, honestly. So I decided I needed some help and I got some therapy. She spoke time and time again about protecting your peace. And I see this so often circulating on social media. I feel like this is a minor revolution that 2024 has really brought to light. How often we are actually at war not only with our minds and thoughts, but with some of our circumstances, relationships, and positions. How often have you removed yourself from something that wasn't benefiting you? Or how often have you stayed in something because you were protecting someone else's peace or feelings? How often have you let yourself be pushed to the side to make someone else feel more comfortable? Or when was the last time you did something for you to make your life feel more peaceful? Protecting your peace is essential for maintaining your mental, emotional, physical, all of the well-beings. Different methods are going to work for different people. But there are a handful of things you can do in unison or solo to reset, reground, and find some peace for yourself. Let's talk about setting some boundaries. These are two big ones: personal boundaries and digital boundaries. Your personal boundaries, you need to know your limits and communicate them clearly. Don't be afraid to say no when necessary. Establishing your boundaries with friends, family, work will actually prevent unnecessary stress and emotional drain. It's okay to not attend the family function or to skip out on the holiday work parties, especially if you're growing anxiety about it. Oftentimes, these personal boundaries are what you start overstepping because you feel you're going to miss out. You're going to let somebody down. But ultimately, it's your life to live, and you have to move in the way that feels most authentic to you. That also means you may need to advocate for yourself. No one will do that better than you can for you. Your peace comes from knowing you've done what you can. Then we're going to talk about digital boundaries. Our cell phones and iPhones have created walking digital monsters. We have access to everything in our hands. This means you may need to limit some exposure to negative news or even people that could cause stress. That means you may even need to mute social media accounts or set limits on your own social media accounts. One, you can unfollow people, you can mute their account, you can block people on social media. Did you also know there are time limit settings that you can set up for yourself? Life hack, I love this because we do all get stuck in the scrolling thing. We do get stuck we do get lost in the sauce on the internet and lurking and surfing socials. We tend to build these elaborate save folders of things we want to do versus actually things we could do. We compare our current life to people that are only sharing their highlight reels online, but we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Digital boundaries are so important for your own mental health and protecting your peace. But what about the people who know that you're online, you've got that little green dot that says you're live, and they want to get feisty because you haven't responded to their message? Your phone time is your phone time. It is not dictated by the messages that you need to respond to. That gets so draining. The amount of info we are consuming in moments or in a day is not what the human mind was designed to do. We aren't computer brains, we are humans. We cannot compute info like an AI robot. We need to slow down the info coming in and process it at a rate that we can absorb it, take it in, and actually use it. Prioritizing self-care is major when it comes to talking about protecting your peace. Engaging in activities that nourish your body, your mind, like getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, or practicing mindfulness, resting. These are all ways to protect your peace. The more you can get your nervous system regulated, the more likely you are going to move with a clearer mind. Dedicating time to activities that you like, whether that's reading, painting, hiking, walking, relaxing in silence. It is so important to replenish your energy. Being alone or even being surrounded by someone who helps spark happiness, that brings serotonin to your brain, that feels good to be around. I have an entire episode on rest is best, and this hits really hard on this topic. Rest is not just sleep, it's mental rest, it's physical rest, it's creative rest, it's rest and recharge, and that is so crucial to protecting your peace. The more inner calmness you have, the calmer you start to approach situations. Spending time outdoors in nature can have profound effects with your mental health. Even short walks in a park, sitting at the beach, walking through the forest, sitting in the grass can help reduce anxiety and improve your mood. Natural environments help us reconnect with ourselves and help us restore a sense of peace. This is basic caveman, cavewoman life. Simplify. We are so busy with our phones and the internet, lost in yesterday's conversation that's still going on in your brain today, that reconnecting with nature, moving into the power of now, sometimes seems so difficult, but it is so necessary in order to reconnect. Protecting yourself from toxic individuals or environments, that can mean distancing yourself from people who are constantly negative or draining. And this was a big one for me really in the last year or two. Earlier this year, someone who was very draining in my own life was sucking me dry. I did not even realize this. And when it was acknowledged and it was mentioned, what I did was never enough, not for that person. The thing about toxic people is they take and take and take until you've got nothing left. They will manipulate, sway, warp the situation so you feel less and you start to do more. And the thing about toxic people is that they contaminate every single person with their stank. One rotten apple spoils the entire bunch. My mom always also said, if you hang around garbage, you're going to start to stink. And this is one of those life principles it just sucks to be in it. And it stinks even more when you realize it later. If you have an empathetic heart and you're one of those people that attracts the crazies, you know who you are, it's because you feel safe to them. You are warm and you don't stink like toxic waste. However, this toxic fog of humans can quickly come when you do have an empathetic heart. When you're living an authentic life, other people, no matter their toxicity level, will want to see what's up. They want to know what you're doing. But you have to hold tight to your boundaries, like I mentioned above, and be you. Know your peace is most important. It also involves recognizing when certain situations and environments are no longer serving you. And you need to take your own steps to avoid and remove yourself from those. As I mentioned earlier about boundaries, I started skipping out on family functions that just felt messy or unneeded. This might ring true for you too. For me, I stopped attending the family functions, mostly like the big family dinners where every single person is invited and there's like 25 or 30 of us at a restaurant. Because usually I get stuck at a table talking to someone that I really don't want to. And I always leave asking myself, why did I really even go? My nervous system feels out of whack. I feel overwhelmed and it does not serve me. I do like to go to dinner and I do like to go to lunch and I like to talk to people where there's less people. Plus, this time serves as a great time for people to make up their own stories about you in those big group settings. Or better yet, it's a great time for them to ask why you're not there when you don't show up to the big group settings. Or why you don't talk to those people anymore in your family. And here's one thing that I've learned from Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins has her let them theory. Let them have their opinions and their feelings. It is not up to you how you are perceived. If someone thinks that you're difficult, that's fine. You have standards and they find those standards difficult to meet. Sometimes it's not you, it's them. Let them. Healthy relationships are a key to protecting your peace, and that includes having people who do not take you for granted. They value your time and they support you. Surround yourself with the people that uplift you, support you, and genuinely care about you. Healthy relationships provide emotional security and a sense of belonging. That allows you to be comfortable with who you are. That allows you to move more authentically, and it allows you to move the way you want for your own life. It creates a peaceful vortex that allows success. If you can make the time to nurture the relationships that are contributing positively to your life and being intentional about spending time with those people, that's how you're going to start to feel more calm and centered. Intentional on spending time with people who fill your cup, teach you something, inspire you, or just make you feel safe. Your peace can be in your control. A lot of stress that comes in those waves of disturbing our peace is from focusing on things outside of our actual control. Instead, we need to try to focus on things we can control, or we can influence, or we can find a solution for. This could be all in the matter of your reaction, your response, your habit, or your environment. Letting go of the need to control everything can actually bring a sense of peace and freedom. Sometimes things will be, it is what it is, but not all the time. My last episode was on it is what it is. Sometimes peace comes from not finding the solution, but rather letting it be whatever it is. Sometimes peace will come from correcting a situation, but this is all according to whatever feels most authentic to you. We've got to let go of the perfectionism, releasing the pressure to be perfect or have everything under control. Life is unpredictable, and trying to micromanage every detail will lead you to burnout. Your peace will burn the fuck up. Embracing imperfection and allowing yourself grace when things don't go according to plan. I usually say I'm a B+ girly. I have one of the best projects. I will have one of the better projects in my class, but I'm not a perfectionist. When I was in grade school, I had projects that usually were A+ in class, but that's because I liked to do the projects. But if you put me into something I didn't really like taking a test, I'm most likely get a B- or a C, maybe even a D or an F. I don't like to half-ass things. And I know perfectionism isn't a thing, but you're not going to do it as well if you don't like to do it. Seeking professional support if you are struggling, you're finding an overwhelming stress or anxiety, talking to a therapist or a counselor or a medical professional can teach you coping strategies or provide guidance. Professional support helps us navigate life's challenges and helps us protect our own mental health. This is where I actually learned this term, protecting your peace, and how to actually navigate it. My therapist has said to me, why do you think monks have so much peace? Because they eliminate the outside sources of thoughts, opinions, and other people's beliefs. They follow their own mission, head down, stay in the power of now. Imagine if you had no outside sources to interrupt your workflow, no opinions from others, no need to compete. You would be at peace too. It's a way of life, and you have to embrace some things more than others to find that peace when you are distracted. Practicing acceptance and accepting that life will have its ups and downs, and sometimes things just being out of your control. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, but rather recognizing and flowing with life as it comes. Accepting can also alleviate the need to constantly resist or fight against the situation, bringing you more sense of peace. Some things in life will just be the way they are. You can deal with them as it is, or you can speak up and you can break that acceptance. How you move dictates how you find that peace. Be aware that speaking up usually means you're going to start breaking a cycle, but that can bring a war before you find any resolution. You may never even find peace once you speak up. Focusing on your inner dialogue and the way we speak to ourselves can have a huge impact on our own mental well-being, with our own mental peace. Trying to be kind, compassionate, non-judgmental, and self-talk. Affirmations, positive self-speak, or even just a moment of pause before reacting to a negative thought can help shift your mindset. Protecting your own peace means knowing your self-worth. That means revving up your confidence. It means putting your best foot forward as much as you can, as much of the time. Finding what works best for you will be a journey. But taking small steps to incorporate these practices into our daily routine is actually what makes the significant difference in protecting your peace. Knowing what disturbs your peace is the best way to actually protect it. Being aware of what disturbs it and being aware of how to restore it when your peace is broken is going to lead you to a more successful, fulfilling life. Actively avoiding the things that you don't enjoy and things that make you unhappy are the keys to protecting your peace, period. We are human. We do overthink. We do worry. We stress, but we can't fuck with our peace. We have the ability to keep it, to protect it, and to nourish it. When the waters feel rough, we can ride out the storm with calmness because we do have that control. When the road is bumpy, we can buckle up a little bit tighter. When your horse starts bucking wild, you can control that horse. What feels like home and peace to you, you've got to keep doing that. Don't forget that you are without a doubt a peaceful badass. I'll see you next week. XOXO, your girl Mad. Hey, and by the way, if you love this podcast, let me remind you that you sharing this is one of the greatest ways to help my podcast just grow. If you don't already follow this, hit the follow button, give it a rating, do something with this that can help this go from where I am now to somewhere greater. You have the ability to help me be a bigger podcaster. I love you for being here, and you can always find me on YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere you listen to your podcasts. See you around and catch you next time. Bye.